Okay, so BlazeLeeDragon and
Kyle Swindle?
I'm not saying her whole name. Too late. Oh, you're on YouTube.
I am on
So-
YouTube. I have my YouTube channel.
That's true.
Yeah.
He does. He does.
So it's okay.
It's entertaining. So basically, obviously by the name and the title of this video, and it's not dogs jumping, it's basically going to be a review of the Man of Steel movie that's going to be coming out. Obviously everyone's probably seen the trailers. If you've not, go check them out. The two that we're going to be talking about is official trailer 3 and the new Zod trailer that's apparently viral.
Oh.
So apparently, let's talk a little bit about it. Okay, so the first thing is let's talk about Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan's going to be, of course, the director, producer. Yeah.
Zach. Oh, I forget his last name. The guy that did Watchmen in 300.
Apparently, Zach's so important to us that we actually know what his name is. I didn't even think.
Snyder? Was it Zack Snyder?
Yeah, I think it is Zack Snyder. So he did 300 and
The
Watchmen. So let's briefly thoughts. 300, good movie, bad movie.
Great movie. I liked it.
I
It was
did
fun.
too. 300 was a good movie.
Watchmen was awesome.
Watchmen was pretty awesome. I liked it. It was kind of interesting. Christopher Nolan, some of his bigger pieces, he did Memento, which I thought was very kind of weird. It's a very big mind fuck movie.
I didn't know he did Memento. That's interesting.
Yeah. I looked it up right before this video. Like I went on the IMDb Internet Movie Database thing, and I wanted to check out, see what else he's done. And Memento, I was like, hey, I've seen Memento. It's pretty interesting. And then he did The Prestige. Loved The Prestige. Brilliant movie. Of course, I like illusions and stuff too, which you can see from my other videos. But it's just, Prestige was really good. I was really impressed with that. And then, of course, the Batman trilogy. He did that, and that was just, well, I liked the first Batman. The second Batman was really good too. Especially, I mean, it was the Joker movie, but
I like them.
you liked them.
I like them. Basically what we're having here is a producer that likes to make epic movies and a director that likes to make epic movies. So now you have a Superman movie with 3 dimensions to the character from what I'm seeing.
and that's basically the point of talking about a little bit of the background on Zack Snyder, I'm assuming, hopefully we don't sound like idiots, and Christopher Nolan is the fact that, are we excited based upon what we've seen from these two before?
I'm not a big Superman fan and I want to see it. I want to see what they did with it.
I'm a huge Superman fan. Love Superman. He was my hero growing up. I always wanted to be Superman as a little kid. I had little figures and things like that, and he's always been a great character to me. And granted, if you look back to Action Comics #1, Superman was an asshole. Yeah, he was just completely different mentality. I mean, he didn't fly, he jumped, and he was just really strong, and his skin was very hard to penetrate. So it's a very interesting read, Action Comics #1. Luckily, they have the digital, because I could never get my hands on an actual Action Comics 1.
You should never put your hands on it.
I know, right? It's like sacred. Thank you.
That's so cute.
He's probably in the video, yeah. So, but being a huge Superman fan and liking him, I mean, there's been a lot of things that they've done with the character throughout the years. And when I think of Superman live action, I think of Christopher Reeves. Christopher Reeves will always be Superman for me.
That's one of the first movies I ever saw.
Yeah, it's just, and all of them were good. I mean, they made 4 of them. They were good movies. So that's the person I'm holding against. And then you have Dean Cain, who portrayed Superman, Lois and Clark, and I thought he did the character justice.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch it?
He was a cute Superman. Yeah, I'll say it. Yeah, Dean Cain.
Yeah, Dean Cain did pull off Superman. I thought it was pretty cool. Also, like that they did like flashbacks to the comics and stuff. Like everyone's like, "Well, how does Superman shave?" And it has an actual scene in one of the episodes where Clark is shooting his heat vision into a mirror and reflecting back onto his face like they did in the comics. So I thought it was interesting that they actually show how. Regardless, both good portrayals of Superman. Then you have Superman Returns. What the?
That was just bad, but I thought we were talking about trailers.
Yeah, we're getting to that. We're talking about, that's the idea, is like what we had before and what we're comparing it to. And did you like Superman Returns?
With the constipation flying face guy? He just had his whole, every time he's flying, it's... taking a shit.
Yeah. So they overdid. It's just he did an okay Clark, but it's like they overdid the animation and the story wasn't very gripping. So it's like right now DC Comics has not had any real big hits besides for Batman, and they've kind of stopped that. Christopher Nolan said he was done with it, so they cut that off. So DC is struggling and Marvel's doing great. So now we have Man of Steel. So it's like right now this is going to be like a huge thing for DC. This is going to be like potential movie making thing. So we're talking about all these past Supermen, we're talking about all this other type of stuff. So the first thing that stands out is the suit. Completely different suit.
Well, yeah. It looks like it's almost like a very, very dark blue, if it's blue at all. But it's definitely not the Superman that you would expect to see. But he still has the big, bright red cape, so I guess that's good for fanboys like you.
So it's like they took away the red underpants. It's like that's the classic look, but I'm not too disappointed in that. I think the thing I don't like is originally it's always been in all the other depictions of Superman, the uniform's always been home sewn by the Kents, or specifically his adopted mother, and it's like now what is it? Did she make that suit? It looks very like a uniform now, and
kind of looks like scales.
Yeah, it does, or some sort of futuristic fiber kind of
space age.
Yeah. So I guess it kind of fits, but it's not what I expected, so I'll take it back.
It actually makes a lot of sense if you think about Superman flying through water, because it always bothered me. You see Superman will fly into water, and I guess it's just because he's Superman, he will come out dry every time.
Maybe because of how fast he's flying.
He's flying so fast that water can't touch him as he's submerged in water.
Martha Kent has got some mad sewing skills. Yeah, that's a good point. There's the whole invisible bubble thing. Regardless, it's a new suit. So that's the first thing that stands out in both of the trailers. When I saw the original trailer 3, and I saw trailer 1 and trailer 2, they were good. When I saw trailer 3, I was hooked. I had to see this movie. I thought it was a brilliant trailer. I liked the music. I liked the scenes that they showed. I liked how they had Russell Crowe in it. I liked how they had Kevin Costner in it. It's like, I like the fact, they even show Laura, his mother, and Jor-El both in the opening sequence. You get to see a little bit of all the actors, and then they show both of the Kents. They show
Kevin Costner.
Yeah, it's Kevin Costner. It's Kevin Costner Kent.
What?
It's Kevin Costner Kent because he's Superman. It is there. So that was a beep because somebody's texting me. They're probably saying, "Get to the point." So it's like when I saw that trailer, just the imagery that they used and the music and even the humor when they had like Amy Adams and stuff like that. What does yes stand for? Things like that. It's adorable. It's fun. It's catchy, and it gives you this feel. And you got to say your joke here of.
Well, it's not going to be all action-packed. It's going to actually be, I don't remember
spot.
Yeah, now I'm on the spot
He's
because
on the spot.
Before when I'd said the joke, you were commenting that people were just talking about a big, like, oh, this looks awesome, it's so like big and action-packed, and then, well, previously you'd said people were bitching because they said, oh, man, it's going to be all deep and intellectual? Fuck.
That was it, deep and intellectual. It was just funny the way that he said it, because it's like a lot of people saw trailer 3 and they didn't have my reaction of, I have to see this. A lot of people were complaining like, oh great, it's Superman trying to find himself, that's the whole movie, this is boring. And then the Zod trailer comes out and they're like, whoa man, this is awesome!
Blow some shit up, I can relate.
Yeah, there's this one, I don't remember who said it, some comedian said that they should never do too much in depth with Superman movies. They should literally call it Superman punches shit. And everyone would go see it, because that's what people want to see. They want to see Superman punching stuff. But for me, though, because I like the character so much and I like some of the things that they've done with it in the past, like I said, I like Dean Cain's portrayal. I like, of course, Christopher Reeve, to me, is Superman. So it's like, to bring in depth to this character that I've grown up with and idolized and, like the whole hero type thing, I have hope that they might give him some actual depth and I like that.
Yeah.
What did you think of the trailer?
Well, it looks like they've actually managed to take a very two-dimensional character, because I always thought it was ridiculous that they always just seem to show Superman as, okay, I got through high school and now I'm going to go be a superhero / reporter. It just seemed all so automatic and just straightforward, and the fact that they're actually giving some emotional depth to the character, so he's not just the guy that's, you can shoot me and it won't matter. It got boring, so it gives depth to him.
Yeah.
I like characters with depth.
Now, the Zod trailer. I was very disappointed, and if I would have seen the Zod trailer and only the Zod trailer, I would have no interest in seeing this movie other than the fact that it's Superman. Because it's like, it made no sense to me, the whole, you are not alone thing repeating on the screens. Like, really? The Kryptonians come to Earth, and first of all, their advanced technology can't hack into our computer screen so we can get a clear image, but they're going to flash twist that we're not alone. Really? Honestly, that's what's going to be displayed? That, and it's like, I don't even know the actor's name that plays Zod, but I wasn't digging his portrayal. Maybe because of the Christopher Reeve movies, I just have an image of how Zod should be, but I wasn't digging it. I didn't like the trailer. I didn't like it at all. I mean, it was kind of cool to have some Superman stuff, but I felt like I got more out of trailer 3 than out of the Zod trailer.
Yeah, the Zod trailer, all I get out of it is, okay, so you will have a very big, long, drawn-out action sequence, and we've seen half of it now. Thank you.
So, I mean, that's the big thing. It's like, how long is the movie going to be? Are we going to have a 3-hour movie and they spend like an hour telling his backstory?
I don't think Christopher Nolan can produce a movie that is under 2.5 hours.
Fair enough. Now, do you want to see more of Superman's backstory? Do you want him to get the suit on and start punching shit?
I want to be entertained. I want to get enthralled. I don't want to sit there and have my ass hurt and just be bored and just waiting for a slow motion of Superman punching someone in the face to take 5 fucking minutes.
True, but from what I can see of the Zod trailer so far, it doesn't seem like they do too many slow-mo sequences.
Yeah.
It does seem pretty fast-paced, which is kind of cool, and that's good for the action buffs. Like I said, I don't mind that they're going to have that stuff. I just didn't like the way they presented the trailer. I didn't like the voiceover by the Zod actor person who portrays him. Sorry for fans of that actor, I'm just not a huge fan. And I guess that's the other thing is, you know, Henry Cavill is Superman. What are your thoughts there?
He looks like he could be interesting. He looks better than whoever it was in Superman Returns.
I don't even care who that was. That was just a horrible movie. Should never been made.
I liked him on Chuck. I can say that much about the guy.
He was on Chuck.
Yeah, he was the guy that in Superman Returns.
Oh, okay, yes. I thought you meant Henry.
He made a really great villain.
I thought you meant Henry Cavill. I did like him as a villain. He did a great job in Chuck. I agree. Even my wife said, it's like, wow, that's the guy who tried to play Superman because it was just a bad performance, or maybe it was just the special effects or a bad script. We just didn't dig it.
I kind of like the twist that they're putting on Superman, where they're basically making him seem like an outcast, like people aren't ready for you, as opposed to just, yay, it's Superman, he's gonna save us all.
And they've always had that as kind of a backstory. I just feel like they're giving this more. Like even in Lois and Clark, they presented as he kind of wandered around and traveled the world. He didn't fit in anywhere. You know, he learned all these languages and learned about different societies before he decided to finally become Superman. He lived among us and understood who we were. And that was always cool, and it seems like they're going to travel into this a little bit more. I kind of got the goosebumps when they were like, you know, to some people he's a guardian angel and holding up the thing and a Superman moment. And then to other people he was just a ghost and sitting on the side of it. I mean, that was like chilling, like, oh, it's good stuff. You know, it's going to be awesome. But it's like, Henry Cavill, I'm nervous, but I'm not nervous. And the reason I'm not nervous is because of trailer 3. Because you got to see him acting and portraying him, and it looks like he might be able to sell it. The reason I'm kind of nervous is looking at some of the stuff that he's done in the past. In The Tudors, he did an awesome job. Did you see him as
Never watched The Tudors.
Okay. That's worth seeing. Henry Cavill's performance was awesome. When he played in Immortals and he was Theseus, did you see Immortals?
Not watch Immortals.
Okay. I did not like Immortals, the movie, period. And I don't know if he did a bad job as Theseus necessarily, but because I didn't like the movie, it doesn't really make me a fan of his work. So, and I know he was in something else. I can't remember. but I saw those two. And I know he's been in their stuff in between. I haven't seen all of his stuff. But it looks like, first of all, he buffed up from Immortals. So, I mean, he's, at least it's a big Superman instead of, just whatever. But they always do try to get an athletic person to play him because it makes sense, it's Superman. So that's kind of cool. And like I said, based upon what I've seen in the trailers, looks like he might be able to pull it off.
Kevin Costner gonna make you cry.
He is. He is. You are my son.
Hey, Dad.
It's Kevin Costner.
Oh yeah, that was one thing out of the trailer that I really liked, when he's like hiding in the corner because he's like a little kid and he's hearing everything.
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome. Like, because I always wondered about that. Like, does he have super hearing all the time, or does he have to really concentrate? Like,
I almost think he has to tune it out.
yeah.
I think.
So it would make sense, like a little kid, like being like, "Fuck!"
Exactly. Well, I mean,
Because little kids say "fuck."
once again, going back to Lois and Clark, they addressed that when the Ultra Woman, where she had his powers and she heard everything and she was breaking down into tears. She's like, "How do you handle this?" It's like, no matter how many people I try to save, there's always someone else yelling for help, and I can't get to them all in time. So
So how does he pick and choose? Do they ever?
I've never seen anything or read anything from my experience with Superman to know how he picks and chooses. I guess he goes with the closest, or whoever's in Metropolis. I mean, it's so.
It's kind of prickish right there. Really. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I could help you. I feel like you deserve it.
And that's what was interesting. Jonathan Kent, in the preview, Clark's like, well, what was I supposed to do? Let them die? And he says,
Maybe.
yeah, maybe. And it's like, Jonathan Kent saying that? That's kind of unexpected, but it's interesting because it's Kevin Costner and he's trying to protect his son, so it's kind of interesting.
Kevin Costner gonna make you cry.
Kevin Costner will make you cry. So thank you for watching. That's basically our review of the trailers. Once again, BlazeLeeDragon and Kyle Swindle. Check out my other YouTube videos. Give me thumbs up if you'd like to review. Make comments, whatever you want to do. Check out the trailers if you haven't seen them yet. And once we see it, maybe I'll talk him into doing another video with me and we'll review the actual movie. So, any last words? So I'm going to turn it off since my wife is not here to turn it off.
Bye.